Interesting. Silver is crushing it just in general, but it's crushing it in India at the moment. Investors are flocking to it. We'll take a look at that article. We'll do live gold, silver, platinum, precious metal stuff. We'll do Bitcoin and crypto too. Have you seen a couple of the ones? It's very interesting where we are right now. If you're watching this on the replay, use the time codes below to go to your favorite part. But if you're watching live, honestly, you really do get to enjoy every single thing we do here at Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main, including the synchronized slurp within the first couple of minutes of the show. Grab your tasty beverage, whatever it is that you're drinking, non-fluoridated water. Look at my amazing new fresh haircut too. Let's synchronize slurp to that as well. Whatever you're drinking, you must do it audibly. That is the rule here at the GMS family. Slurp your beverage. It's the slurp heard around the world. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Go. Tell me what you're slurping as well. Wow, my name is Joe Main, a stacker of precious metals since 2010, a stacker of crypto since 2013. I do this show. I help you launch and grow on YouTube and other social media for your businesses or personal. I consult with you if you want to learn how to invest in precious metals. Now, my regular subscribers, you're all over that. But your friends, family, etc., I'll put links everywhere, blah, blah, blah. The show is brought to you by Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com, Stormrake, stormrake.com, your full-service cryptocurrency brokerage, and you get 2% lifetime brokerage fees when you sign up through me instead of 3.5%. It's a 42% saving. You'll hear a little bit more about those people. Can you do me later on? Can you do me a huge fave? Huge fave, please and thanks. Follow me over here at x.com/it's Joe Main. 3,337 subscribers right now. Is it gonna let? Oh, it doesn't let me. Oh, it's the wrong one. That was from yesterday. If I do this one right here, can you follow me over on X? That would be really helpful. That's the one. I just want to do that and do that and do that. Why? Because it helps me go ballistic on the good old X. We're about to talk to the amazing GMS family. Was not the one I wanted. I want you like that. Excuse me, my funky people. Das ist better. That is better. Cool. Go back over there. We'll be coming back to gold, etc. Let's take a quick chat to the fam. Morning all, says Silver Rigger. I got a super chat from MetaMint. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Where are we? Where? No, I go there, then I go there, then I go there, then I go there. Thanks, man. Super chat, $2.99 from MetaMint. Very much appreciate that. It helps put me through trading investing school. Yes, I am starting the Mastering the Markets course right there on Monday, the year-long comprehensive. It costs like $12,000 for the year. So can you please help me out? Give me super chats and whatnot. That'd be great. Tony Peterson, chat mum, is here. Fantastic. Good morning, chat fam. Good morning. Good to see you. Synchronized slurp. You're slurping Earl Grey tea today. That is fantastic. Triple Earl Grey. Oh, 2 of you are on Earl Grey, just like Picard. If you know, you know. Earl Grey, hot. Your pointing to the sponsors was on point. Oh, Lord. They're all coming thick and fast today. Hello, everyone, says Mr. Happy Stacker 69. You had to add the 60. Is that because you were born in 69? Come on. Tell me that's the reason why. That's funny. Hello, everyone. Yes, it's great to see everyone here. Shall we do the stuff? We'll be talking about Bitcoin and crypto and all those altcoins. We start off with the precious metals, though. So let's go with that. Actually, we've got some news to share about India flocking to silver. So we'll get to that first. Silver is crushing it in India. Indian investors are flocking to silver. Quick little bit of an article there. Let's share the screen and we'll take a quick look-see. This is from, this comes from FX Street, okay, fxstreet.com. Indian investors flocking to silver. There's a silver rush in India. Let's read it together. Indians are known for stockpiling gold. Oh, yes, they are. If you've ever been either a part of or been anywhere around Diwali, which is the traditional, there's a few auspicious days in that sort of 5-day period. It's usually around about the November kind of time. And trust me, it's wall to wall. People buying gold for Diwali when I've worked I worked for 3 major bullion dealers, so it's a busy time. Anyway, they love the gold. Not so much silver, but mainly for gold. But they are increasingly turning to silver as the price has pushed to 14-year highs. In rupee terms, silver set a record of that amount per kilogram, around 41 US dollars per ounce. Right, so there's a higher premium there, yeah. A silver production shortfall in India. Interesting. A silver production shortfall in India has sent the price to a significant premium locally. Yes, so we went to about $39, so an extra $2 US an ounce. That's interesting. And I presume that's, is that wouldn't be their premiums though? You're not paying $2 an ounce premium. You'd be paying more than that for a kilo, I'd imagine. In 2004, gold was king. The price was soaring 34% in rupee terms as silver charted a 23% gain. The script has flipped in recent months with the local silver price up 21% over the last 3 months. That compares to a 5% rise in gold through the same period. Unsurprisingly, Indian investors are hoping to cash in on silver's bullish run. We'll take a look at the silver price in just a second. Silver has traditionally been the choice for poor, budget-conscious rural consumers. Yes. Gold has traditionally been money of the kings, and silver has been money of the people. But has increasingly grabbed the attention of urban investors. Okay, if urban investors have enough to buy silver, or let me put it another way, if silver is cheap enough that the masses can buy silver, which we all can, what does that tell you about the price of silver? Of course, as you know, silver has never been over its 1980 price, the only asset in the world that existed in 1980 that exists today that's never beaten its 1980 price. And that's 1980 version, not inflation adjusted. Anyway, what does that tell you about silver? Umesh Agarwal told Reuters he frequently buys gold coins, but he recently purchased his first kilo silver bar. Go, Umesh! Quote, gold's done pretty well for me over the last couple of years. Now I'm hoping silver follows the same path and gives similar returns. Chirag heads up one of India's largest silver importers. He says investor behavior is different during this recent bull rally. Good, excellent. Quote, usually investors cash in when prices hit record highs, offloading coins and bars or pulling out of ETFs. However, this time, even at record highs, people are investing rather than selling. What does that tell you? Silver ETFs reported inflows of 39.25 billion rupee in quarter 2. That compares to, wow, that's a big jump. That's a huge jump, compares to 23.67 billion flowing into gold. June inflows set a record at 20.04 billion. According to the Silver Institute, retail demand for silver in India rose 7% through H1 2025. The first half one. Meanwhile, silver imports exploded. Oh, okay, this is very interesting. Silver imports exploded by 431% year over year through the first 5 months. Wow, Indian interest in silver isn't new. No, it's just being revived by record prices over the last decade. Investors have accumulated over 17,500 tons of silver in forms of coins and bars. The country ranks as the world's largest consumer of silver jewelry and silverware. Yes. Population, yeah, of course. Even with the recent rally in silver, it remains historically underpriced based on both technical and supply and demand dynamics. Absolutely agree. For instance, the gold-silver ratio is hovering around 87 to 1. I think it's a little bit lower now. In the modern era, the ratio is averaged closer to 61, blah, 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 rah, 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 silver. Cool. Great to see. Any comments on that before we get to the silver price? Let's see. I see a lot more copper being sold on, okay, talking about that. Yes, silver has become the poor man's gold. It always was. Silver was always the poor man's gold. And until it's not. And then there's been periods where, silver has been less so the poor man's gold. But yeah, gold money of the kings, silver money of the people. Let's take a look at the price of silver. Seeing though we're here. What was that comment there that I just missed? No. Cool. Let's take a look at, we'll start with silver, then we'll do gold and platinum, etc. Well, speaking of silver, here is silver on the daily time frame price in USD, $37.90 US. So far found that support at that, where are we? That 37.60 kind of level we were talking about yesterday. It's interesting because it's not only the 0.5 from this low and this high, it's the 0.382 from this low and this high, and it's also the 0.236 from this low and this high. So it could be interesting. Could be a turnaround here. I wouldn't bet on it just yet. We might still have some bearish divergence playing out, but we've had a great run so far in silver. It is going to $50 US. It's going to $100 US. You know, in an amount of time. I can't tell you exactly when, but you might see a bit of a dip here. Potentially. I was wrong on my platinum call, by the way. Platinum looks like it might be, but we'll get to there in a second. But anyway, it's holding that. While it's holding that, it's uber bullish. Okay, I mean, it's uber bullish. If you go back, I mean, it's uber bullish anywhere above here. Anywhere above right there at that best buy zone of about $28 US. I'd say actually really that 31.70, which we've talked about before. Anywhere above there, it's just so good. You know, if you came down to, this is probably not happening, okay? 5% chance. If you did that, that wouldn't be great. Obviously, if you did that, really, really bad, kind of death knell for silver for a long time, and none of that's going to happen. So it's looking great. We're in a massive bull market, onwards and upwards from here with some up and down along the way. Isn't that how life works? Yeah. That is pretty much all I need to show you for silver. If I show on the hourly, is there anything I'm noticing? Not really. I mean, you could call that some hidden bullish divergence with a lower low and a higher low there. We're just rocketing up onwards and upwards over the even medium term and long term for silver. It's looking fantastic. If you were wanting to wait to load up some more, if you put a gun to my head and said, Joe, where would be some extra support that you would want to hold? Well, you'd want to hold it here at that $37.30. That's preferable. Then if you do not hold that, then you'd be doing this move. We've done this already before. You'd want to be holding 36.70 as we said, and then if it's correcting an even larger move, then you would say something like anywhere down to about $35. That would be the kind of the lowest for me. You know, break out of that massive 35 area right here, that 34.35. Come back to test that, sure. Freak people out, sure. Then it on its way up, but I would favor. What would I favor? I would favor no lower than probably that 36.70 where I don't think we would go any lower than if we see some lower prices from here. 36.70, watch out for that. And of course, once we break 39 right there, it's just onwards and upwards to $50. We'll spend a little bit of time at 50 faffing around, people calling triple tops, and then it might spend a little bit of time there, and then onwards and upwards we go, breaking 50 and then price discovery, and all bets are off, my friends. That is silver. Silver miners, don't want to talk about them at the moment. No, don't want to do that. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at gold on the weekly time frame. Sure, why not? $3,350 US. Let me get rid of you and all of you for S&Gs. No, I need to go on the daily. Cool, daily time frame. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the GMS family. We're getting to Bitcoin and crypto very soon for all my ex-followers. Here is gold. We're just still in that uptrend. Sorry, in that symmetrical triangle, I should say. That is going to be, no, it's not that. It's that. And it's that. So we're still within there. Not a lot to say. You just want to hold, not that one. Not that one. That one. There we go. We found exact resistance again at 3,375. Right, from this high and this low, it is the top end of the zag zone right there. So we're just in that range. Okay, it's been a number of days now, made another play, failed move, fast move to the downside, and not a lot to say. We're still trading in that range. So breaking through 3324 it was, and breaking and holding below it would say, ooh, possibly a test of here. You would want to see that hold. A lot of times what can happen is you can have another test here and then it fakes you out and then does something like that. Could do. But while we're in that symmetrical triangle pattern right here, just can't say either way. If you creep and hold above 3,375, I'll say, okay, much more likely that we're going to do that and break through. You've got until around about the first week of August where it will make its decision. Okay, so it will break out of a symmetrical triangle pattern. It will do this. It might faff around for a little bit longer. Who knows? But it can't. It can only squeeze itself so much, and you never usually squeeze yourself all the way to the very corner, the apex. Okay, it's going to happen. Yeah, so that's what, August 1st. I'm going to say within the first week of August, we will have made our decision. It's either going to pump up or it's going to have a dip. I don't know either way. We're just in a trading range at the moment. Of course, I'm very bullish on gold in the longer term, but in the shorter term, silver can continue its little run while gold has a little bit of a move down. If you take the gold to silver ratio, here's the gold to silver ratio, 88.24. So it's actually slightly higher. Gold's outperforming silver just in the last week or so. You've had a great move. So once again, though, I mean, gold can just stagnate for a bit or even go down, and silver can be going up a little bit. And then you'll see this number continue to go down. On the gold to silver ratio, my continued final hurdle for me is at that 80, is it 83.6, something like that? Yeah, in between here, between 81 and 80.6. Once it closes below there, it confirms for me silver's long-term dominance, and then we'll talk about much lower ratio prices like 70 or even 50 or possibly even lower as this goes down. Just for the newbies, that means silver is massively outperforming gold, and generally as this is going down, on a longer term trend, it means that the precious metals are going up. Okay, let's see. Let's go to silver ratio. Let's take a look at old mate. Interesting. Here is platinum on the weekly time frame. US dollars $1,419.80. Could be wrong. I could be wrong. Might be wrong here. So I have popped in my best buy zone. Now, the best buy zone, it's still a thing. It still is the best buy zone. Okay, now what do I mean by that? Obviously, the best buy zone is whenever you can afford it, dollar cost average, all that. But if we were going to see lower prices, the best buy zone area was between 1,100 all the way up to 1,230, and I favored the top end of the best buy zone. I didn't think really we would get into here, and I said I was more confident that we would see a dip. So far, I have been wrong, and I might be wrong. Okay, I'm not going to say it 100% confirmed because we still need to at least get over this $1,430 mark, and as you know, markets love to fake you out to shake you out. Okay, so we need to watch out for maybe some potential bearish divergence, but we're looking pretty good. I mean, if you can clear through there, that's not bad. We might have kind of reset here on the RSI down to that kind of 40 level. It's looking all right now. If I show on the wider view, the more macro view, see on the daily we've already been extremely overvalued. See, you just got to watch out for the bearish divergence here. I'm not going to say we're out of the woods just yet for platinum, because you can make a higher high here, pick a number wherever that goes to, and then that's a lower high on the relative strength index if it turns around. So for example, if it did something like this, pick a number, pick a level, I don't care, I don't know where it is, and if it starts to tick over like that, you go, oh, that's a pivot point right there. And if that's much lower on the relative strength index, you can say, a little blow off top, and then we get the move down. It loves to do that. It loves to get you all excited and then fake you out. It does it on the way up. It does it on the way down. Cool. So just be aware of that. I might be wrong. Could just sail onwards and upwards from here, but just do consider still the best buy zone, 1,230 anywhere down to 1,100 with the preference with the more likelihood. Yeah, Joe, that's good words. You good and stuff. At $1,230 US. Cool. What else do you need to? Oh, and I'm going to show you on the. But however, on the longer term time frame, this is what gives me pause to go. Oh, okay, maybe not. If you take a look at the monthly, look at that beautiful monthly candle right there, right? And if you have a look on the quarterly, well, basically the same thing. That's the quarterly. We're in the new quarter. Okay. Looking really good. I think this quarter might be really good. I did think, though, that we might... And where's 1230? 1230 is right there. It's not unusual that you can have a spike down and then a quick spike back up, and then it's still a green quarter. It's just that the spike is a little bit lower. Does that make sense? So that's why I do still think it's possible. What would tell me not? Obviously, clearing back above there, and then you really got to rise a little bit higher in the relative strength index. So best buy zone still in play, less likely at this stage, but watch out for that potential bearish divergence. Cool. That is platinum. Let's quickly do copper. Get your comments in, etc. We're going to do Bitcoin and crypto and some of my favorite alts in just a couple of moments. Here is copper on the 4 hour. Why not? We're at $5.50. There's nothing to say about copper. It is just faffing around. So yeah, the good news, faffing around, by the way, is for no one watching, for people not watching in Australia, for people from outside of Australia, faffing around means farting around. It means just like meh, whatever. It's just kind of just ranging. Cool. So it's faffing around. It's not really doing much. It's just sitting at that kind of like $5.50 level. That's good. I like that because it's not having a massive dip. So after that big rise, after the Trump tariff 50% thing or 30% thing, it bounced off that $5 mark. Big move up to $5.90. And it's just been faffing around this thing. The more longer that you faff around this area, the better it is, because it says the buyers are more so in control of the market. Okay, and we just need to clear $5.70 in order for me to say, all right, potentially onwards and upwards we go. That is copper. Let's see, comments, etc. Anything else I want to quickly look at? Palladium. Ooh. Might have to start adding Palladium in. Okay, let's take a quick look. Okay, dang, man, I haven't looked at it for a while. Here is Palladium on the weekly time frame priced in US dollars, 1,231. We are almost at breakout point here. I did this chart a little bit ago. Don't know when it was. That clear area there of 1,240. Break and hold 1240. Excellent sign. Now, break and hold it on a weekly time frame. You can have a spike, but spikes mean SHIT. It's where things close at. Excuse me, I'm about to, pardon me, sorry, live on air. Great news though is we're moving into extremely overvalued. We're moving into oversold, overbought, overvalued. Overbought, I should just say that, overbought, and you can spend a bit of time in there. So as long as we head out and then stay above, looking good on the monthly time frame. All right, this is the monthly. We're about to potentially have a large breakout for Palladium. Now, how would you get into Palladium? You can buy physical Palladium. I don't generally recommend that you do. Or I should say, it depends where you live in the world. For example, in Australia, there is no tax. There's no sales tax, GST, goods and services tax. There's no sales tax on gold. There's no sales tax on silver. There's no sales tax on platinum. However, there's sales tax 10% on Palladium for some reason, which we don't know why. Just because, thank you, Australian Tax Office, for whatever reason. So you're paying an extra 10% straight away. It's harder to get. It's harder to mint and produce, etc. So the premiums are higher. So have I owned a Palladium? No, I haven't owned a Palladium. I've certainly sold physical Palladium in my time in the bullion dealer industry. But generally, look, if you can find it and it's decently priced, sure, go for it. But the way you would probably get exposure to Palladium is being in one of the PGM Platinum group, which includes Palladium, etc., mining stocks probably. And on the ASX, for example, you'd probably be looking at something like Zimplats. That's not there. Zimplats. Right there, potentially, or you on the New York Stock Exchange, you'd be looking at something like SBSW, which where are we? SBSW, which Sibanye Stillwater Platinum Group Metals, okay, which is looking very tasty. I've been in SBSW for I think about $5, something like that, roughly. That's doing well. It's coming up to a little resistance area here, so I think it might be taking a bit of a pause at around about your $9.70 area. Just watch out for there. We're coming up to some trapped money on SBSW right there. It's probably going to fight through that. But that's a couple of ways that you could get into it. Let's go back to some other stuff. We'll do some quick comments and we'll do Bitcoin and crypto, etc. And of course, if you want to buy physical precious metals, gold, silver, sometimes I have platinum as well, go to Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au. They're located in Western Australia, but they service the entire Australian country, okay? And you get free shipping. No other bullion dealer. Until just recently, these guys were the first bullion dealer to offer free shipping when you buy over a certain amount. There is one other company, but they're not very large. And let's be frank, these guys are the best. Perthbullion.com.au, have 20 or more items in your shopping cart, and you get free shipping. Express delivery, sign-on delivery, fully insured, very quick delivery as well. If you can pay on the same day, sometimes they'll pick and pack it the same day, and you'll receive it next day, depending on where you are within Australia. And it's for free because you have 20 or more items in your cart. Just go to perthbullion.com.au, play around with the shopping cart, and then you'll see, oh, okay, you'll see the free shipping option come up after you have a certain amount of items. It's very simple. Cool. perthbullion.com.au. Comments. And then we'll get into some Kryptonium stuff. Let's see now. Production and minting costs aside, the premium is high on copper. It is a bit higher on copper. Yes, it is. Yeah, no point buying physical copper. Yeah, we could have talked about that as well. Look at this great haircut. By the way, if anyone lives in Brisbane, or if anyone lives in the Gold Coast, that's the Queensland area, tomorrow night I will be playing in the Gold Coast at the Hog and Stag with the U2 show Achtung Baby, the U2 tribute band that I'm in. Yes, I'm a Bono in a U2 tribute band. And then on Saturday, I'm playing at the Red Cliff Entertainment Centre with the U2 show Achtung Baby. I might be able to get you some free tickets for my subscribers. So if anyone lives in that area and you want to come along, Friday night Gold Coast, Saturday night Brisbane, let me know. Hit me up. Let's see. GMS says, Gerald Draper, you have a 1 ounce silver shield rounds because of the design. Yeah, Tony sent me some of those copper rounds. They're great. Thank you very much. Let's see. GMS, hope you're well. Good to see you, my friend. Let's talk Bitcoin and crypto. Interesting what's been happening overnight. Yeah, let's take ETH in particular. Let's take a look at Ethereum and Bitcoin and crypto and all that stuff. Okay, let's go. That's not the one I wanted. I wanted you, the one with Stormrake and Mastering the Markets listed there so you can see them. By the way, again, Stormrake, stormrake.com, your full service cryptocurrency brokerage. They normally charge 3.5% brokerage fee, but when you sign up with my link, you get it for 2% for the life of the account. That's crazy good. Let's see. Here is Bitcoin. Bitcoin on the monthly time frame. Sure, why not? 1,000. Oh, geez, again, I do it every time. $118,700 US. Let's go to the daily. Daily looking a little bit oversold, but you can spend a lot more time. You can get into extremely oversold there. But we had that peak, that little spike. What did we say about spikes? We don't like them. It says we don't like spikes in the upward direction because it says sellers are more so in control of the market. So since then, we've seen a little bit of a dip. So far holding, interesting, from this low and this high, that's holding at the 0.236. Very, That's bullish, okay, while it's above the 0.236. Cool. I don't want to see it close below, preferably, that 116,850 roughly, and definitely don't want to see it close below that 115,400. You do have a couple of areas of support that you can come down to, and it'll be completely normal to get down there and you wouldn't batter an eyelid, and that's anywhere between 113,750 and 108,000. Now, I'd prefer not 108,000. You'd prefer to bounce off previous resistance. Down to there would be fine. Now, I'm not saying it's going down to there, as you know. I'm not even saying it's going lower from here, but anywhere down to there, fine. I'd rather it didn't. It just kind of freaks people out a little bit too much if you get down to that 108,000. Bounce off there or there would be lovely, and then onwards and upwards, hopefully that we go. You could call... We've been talking about potential bearish divergence. It is not confirmed just yet, but you do need to watch out for it. And if I remove you here, you've just always got to be aware. If you're not aware, then you don't know. Cool. It is this right here. That's definitely looking like a pivot, a big spike pivot off there. So then you're talking higher high, lower high, technically equal or lower high, bearish divergence. So we need to quick smart clear there. We need to get up into this extremely overvalued, overbought area. Quick smart, please. So then that invalidates a bearish divergence after hitting that 123,000. Cool. If you start closing, it's not until, no, I mean, you're not breaking market structure until all the way kind of down here. So you've got a lot to go at that 98,000, okay, because that can still, come down to here. That forms a higher low, fantastic, and then, do that, great, brilliant. But just bear that in mind, and so you've got a lot of room to move, and what that could actually set it up for would be, would that be hidden bullish? No, probably not. Anyway, just watch out for the potential bearish divergence. On balance of probability, it's more so likely that we're seeing higher prices. Of course, Bisha from Stormrake believes $200,000 Bitcoin in 2025 is still doable. All the way up here in 2025, still doable. And look, on the longer term time frame, look, that's just a little weekly blip. If you have a look on the monthly, getting rid of all the indicators and stuff, look at that on the monthly. Dang, that looks good. Look at that on the quarterly. Bitcoin on the quarterly. It's looking good, man. So, and you've definitely got some room to go. So, as long as we hold above that, roughly that $97,000, $98,000 level, yeah, you're pretty cool for good old Bitcoin. That is Bitcoin. Let's take a look. I'm going to do Ethereum before I do others. Dang. Here is Ethereum on the daily time frame, priced in US dollars, 3,382. We broke through 2860. We had that little faffing around, again, that faffing around just here. And what it looked like it might have been doing, if I show you on we just rocketed up. If you have a look on the 1 hour, started freaking out a few people, because what we did is we broke out and then it came back in. It almost came back in, but it was a beautiful retest, and then after that retest, onwards and upwards we go. We have now broken through the 0.618. That's very bullish. We're in extremely overvalued territory on the RSI, on the hourly. So that means you could have a bit of a tick over and then continue heading up on the 4 hour. Okay, that's, if you were to pivot here, that's a massive bearish divergence on the 4 hour. Higher high, boop, 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 higher high. I'm not saying that's the pivot, I'm just saying if it is, and that's a lower high, so watch out for that. On the daily, as my voice cracks, would you like fries with that, sir? On the daily time frame, we've smashed through it, smashed through the top end of the zag zone. Pretty good, pretty good. Again, just watch out. Higher high, lower or equal high. Just watch out there. We're in extremely overvalued at the moment. Cool. On the monthly, wow, that's a good move. Now, just watch out around about here. We're at this resistance of that, 3350 roughly. If we got through 4,000 and held 4,000, That's the rocket. Okay. That's the Elon's super heavy booster. If you get through there and hold it, see, look at this on the monthly time frame. Oh my God, even on the weekly. Yeah, on the weekly as well. If you close any week, close above, look at that spike, not really closing. There's a close at 4,000, roughly. Where are we? No, it wasn't even at 4,000. It closed below. If you close above $4,000, close a week, particularly close a month above $4,000, holy moly, then you're going much, much higher. And then we'll talk all-time highs after that, very simply. All-time highs, and yeah, you know, you could even $7,500 Ethereum that's a tiny little blip. That's at the 1.618 from this high and this low. 7,500, no problem. 7,400, you're even talking up to past roughly $10,000 is really doable for Ethereum, okay? If you can confirm closing a month above 4,000, that's the big kicker. For me, that's Ethereum. Looking good. Ethereum Bitcoin is also moving nicely. Okay, that beautiful bottom that we had there, double bottom on hidden bullish divergence, so equal low, so double bottom, much lower on the relative strength index, and we went into that extremely undervalued area, which we spoke about before. We're just having a nice, beautiful move, and I'd watch out for around about here at 0034 on the ratio. That's the 0.236. I would expect a little bit of resistance there, but we might be moving onwards and upwards to 0.044045. Kind of, you've got a bit of a cluster there of support, so watch out for that. Could be like a really big V reversal. Look at that. Something like that would be really good. Do that, and then on the ratio, you could get much higher. You could. Anyway, that is, of course, and monkeys might fly out of my butt. Let's see. That is Ethereum to Bitcoin. Alrighty, now this is interesting. Here is others, the altcoin market minus the top 10. Interesting. Everyone got a little bit excited overnight because and yesterday, because we punched through. It looks like looking like we were going to punch through that $290 billion area. We're faffing around again. That term, faffing around. Let me get rid of that for you. The bottom end of this zag zone right here. Okay, bottom end from this high and this low. We're faffing around it, mucking around potential. Well, it is resistance, right? It is acting as resistance so far. That needs to clear pretty quick, smart. We're extremely overvalued on the daily. On the 4-hour, we have been setting up some interesting potential bearish divergence, like a triple bearish divergence, okay? It went from bearish into hidden bullish, potentially back into bearish again. So what do I mean? That means higher high, lower high, higher low, lower low, hidden bullish divergence, which then continued the trend. And then where are we again? Higher high, lower high. Okay, so that could be like just watch out here again, and we're at resistance as hovering around, faffing around the bottom end of the longer term zag zone as well. So just be careful with alts around here. Okay, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Yeah. Now if we rocket up through 290 and we just continue, then that's looking really good. Then watch out, of course, for 315, but you'll probably come up to 350 billion, and that's a big kicker, likely major resistance there. And that would, if that happens, then we do continue through, which we certainly might do, then that sets up higher moves in your favorite altcoins. Let's take a look at a few of them. We've got to talk TOSHI, because TOSHI's had a great move in the last 24 hours or so. Wow. Cool. Here is TOSHI on the daily time frame, priced in USD. 000678. Massive move. Good on you. Congratulations if you got into TOSHI and you've been riding that wave. Congratulations if you bought back here and you're doing really well. Even if you bought back up here, we're kind of getting close to those areas. As I said, I was in TOSHI. I got listed on Coinbase. I got out of TOSHI. I'm not back in TOSHI yet. I kind of feel like I missed the wave, and I don't feel like there's a time yet where I can just get in. I could take the risk and just buy, but then I'm not going to take that general risk. I should have happened. As you remember, I was talking about it right here, and I didn't listen to my own advice. I said, I think last week or the week before, I said, that's a great move. If we can clear back through there, I'll probably get back into TOSHI. I didn't. Then we had that move to resistance from this high and this low. Right there, that's the bottom end of the zag zone. We came back to here. I didn't buy off support. I didn't buy here. I also didn't buy here. And I haven't bought in just yet. We've seen basically exact resistance at the top end of the zag zone at that 00075, which we talked about. We spiked at 00765. Okay, so far it has acted as resistance. It's great to see a test. It now just needs to hold. Where does it need to hold? Right there at the bottom end. Hold there, please and thank you, at 00062-ish. Hold there, and mate, we could be onwards and upwards if we clear and hold a daily close above that 0.00075, then I'll be like, yep, okay, I'm in. Because that confirms you're out of the zag zone. It's a daily close, not a spike. I'm in then. And I'm happy to wait. That's fine. I will miss all these moves here. I'm waiting for confirmation that we're going to continue onwards and upwards. And a daily, preferably a weekly, but I'll give you a daily close above that 00075 is very good news. We would need to see what the other indicators are doing at the same time. Are we looking at bearish divergence or this, that, and the other? But it would be looking very good. Anyway, congratulations to all on TOSHI. If you're riding that wave, leave a comment somewhere in the replies or on YouTube or on X if you are in. If you're riding that wave and if you're incredibly bullish on TOSHI, the meme coin of base chain, my favorite meme coin of all time. Talk XRP. Let's talk potential new all-time high for XRP. While we are above, give me a little bit of time here. Anyone? Bueller? Am I still going out? I'm still going. There you go. Just took long enough. Right here. Wow, that was really long. Here is XRP on the daily time frame. US dollars, $3.04. While we are above $2.60, I'm saying a new all-time high in XRP is coming. What we do at the all-time high, that remains to be seen, okay? So maybe we might match it, okay? But I reckon a new all-time high, technically I think we will break above $3.40, right? What we do from there, I don't know. It depends what the indicators are doing. But we are an extremely overbought, on the weekly time frame. Just really moving slow. Someone's got the internet doing something in the house somewhere. Pardon me. Weekly, not even in overbought yet, overvalued. Not even there. That can get right up there. Cool. So you've got some great room to move. Okay. Let me get rid of this for you. Cool. Look at that. Look at. Beautiful. That's from 2018. This is all the way down to 2000 and whatever that is, to March of 2020. Looking very nice. And of course, so far, looking good. And I think onwards and upwards to potentially anywhere up to, possibly even more, but $10 XRP, not out of the realm of possibility at all in an altcoin run. Not out of the realm of possibility at all. And would be a psychological double-digit value. Okay. But anywhere between there and there. Okay, it's a big thing. You've got a couple of areas along the way. You've got $5.30 and you've got $8.20 as a couple of areas to watch out for on the way to a psychological value of $10, which it could really do. That is XRP. What does it need to do, and what does it need to stay above? As I said before, yeah, $2.60, stay above there, please and thank you. That's all I really have to say on the hourly, I guess. Let's take a quick look. Oh yes, hourly, similar thing to the others market. It's very similar to the others. So look at that, 1, 2, 3 there. Yeah, okay, so that went into, so just again, be aware, higher high, lower high. Then we saw that move. Aha, higher low, lower low. It's exactly like the altcoin market, others. Higher high, lower high, possibly pivoting off there. Okay, so that needs to crack through $3.10 quick smart, or else if that ticks over here, does something like that, you might be saying a bearish divergence and then some lower prices might be coming. Just watch out for $2.60. That's where I think you would find major support if we did. That would probably be the lowest it would go, is about $2.60. I have an alert. Why? Well, let's check out that alert. I have an alert on SEI for some reason. SEI on the Bitcoin exchange, on the Bitcoin pairing, has triggered my little alert here. So we're back above it. Okay, sure. So here is SEI. We're going to do that now, I guess. SEI on the on the Bitcoin pairing 1 hour time frame. Let's take a look at it on the daily. We did break through on the daily and we've come back to test support. It just really needs to hold. What I don't like is that and that. So that's potential bearish divergence playing out. A lot of bearish divergence playing out. A few signs going on here, okay, for the altcoin market. Just be careful, all right, around here. Higher high, lower high. If that is the pivot, you would call that a pivot if we start breaking back down through there. That wouldn't be good at whatever that ratio thing. It's 265, sure. So that's on the BTC pairing. And why am I looking at the BTC pairing? Because just like when you're in stocks, if you're in a particular stock, if it's not beating the S&P 500, just buy the S&P 500. If your stock is not beating the sector that it goes under, just get that indices if you can get that indices, all right? But if it's not beating if your stock is not beating the S&P 500, just buy that, okay? In crypto, if your altcoin is not beating Bitcoin, just buy Bitcoin. And I would actually put Ethereum in that as well. If it's not beating Ethereum, just buy Ethereum. Cool. Yeah, so SEI is at the top end, the bottom end of a zag zone. So it's coming up to, we're at a resistance point right now. Yeah, see, it made a spike, but so far we're back underneath it. So it is acting as resistance. Also, once again, higher high, potential. It's only potential at this stage. Higher high, lower high. We could just rocket to the moon, okay? From here, just got to be careful around here. Don't take any, I wouldn't sell out of any positions, but I wouldn't be getting into any new positions at the moment. Cool? Don't go selling your TOSHI, don't go selling your SAI, your whatever you're in. Don't sell it, but just don't leverage yourself. Don't buy more on leverage. Just don't buy any more here, okay? We get a little mini toppy, okay? Unless if we clear through that 40-cent kind of mark, particularly for SEI, if you can get through this downtrend line right there, pick wherever that is, it kind of lines up pretty well with that 50-cent mark. 50 cents is the big kicker for SEI, for example. Do something like this, F around for a little bit, and then do that. Chef's kiss, golden, okay? We're just coming up to some resistance for SEI. Anything else I wanted to talk about? I talked about TOSHI, I talked about ETH, I talked about SRP, I've done silver and gold, I've even done a couple of extra crypto as well. Now is the time where you give me some tickers to look at. I have a little bit of time to do that. So while I am waiting for you to give me some quick chart requests, give them to me right now. Put them in the replies in X, or if you're watching on YouTube, put it in the live chat right now. So I'll wait 30 seconds to a minute for any of those to come in. And while I do, I will tell you about Stormrake, stormrake.com. Okay, stormrake.com is your full-service cryptocurrency brokerage. They're Australian-based, but they do service Australia and the US as well. I have to double-check with Bisha. Bisha right here, that lovely guy right there, is the COO, Chief Operating Officer of Stormrake. Spoke to him on the show like 6 weeks ago, where he was making his case for $200,000 Bitcoin in 2025. And it wasn't pie in the sky stuff. It was a very well-reasoned, well-argumented case for it. He heads up, COO of Stormrake, stormrake.com, full-service cryptocurrency brokerage. What does that mean? It's like your old-school stockbroker. You call them, Now you can email them and just say, can you please buy me $10,000 of Bitcoin? And they go, great, leave it with me. They'll handle it. They'll go to the exchanges, get the best prices, etc. They can do full custody for you, cold wallets, hardware wallets, all that kind of stuff. They can set it all, that the whole thing. Literally all you need to do is speak to your broker and say, I want crypto and I want this much of it. And they go, great. And then it's all handled. Or if you want that little sort of midway point, you can get them to do all the buying and stuff, or the selling or the swapping or whatever. And then they can send the cryptocurrency to you. If you want that, like the win-win situation, they do it for you. Plus you get to keep it on, in your hot hands, not your keys, not your wallet, as they say. I would actually really trust Stormrake in terms of their cold wallet storage and all that stuff too. They're the experts. And you can the great thing about having a broker is you can just call them just for a chat and say, hey, I don't want to buy today, but what's looking good today? How's the market? What are you seeing, etc.? And they'll just give you their, opinions, of course, as well. So they are your dedicated brokerage. Now, they do charge a 3.5% fee. If you sign up at stormrake.com, you'll pay 3.5%. Then if they raise their prices later on, you'll pay the higher percentage. However, you knew this was coming. If you sign up with my link, I'll put the link somewhere, or you can even type this into the address bar of your favorite browser. And right down there at the bottom right there, you will get 2% brokerage fees. That's a 42% discount. And it's also for the lifetime of the account. Okay, so even when Stormrake raise their prices later on down the track, they might do, you're not going to get your prices raised as well. You've locked in 2%, okay, 4%, okay, 42% saving. This is why I say, even if you do, let's have a quick little look here. SBET, what do you know about this company? That is the ticker is above is SBET. Great question, and thank you very much for asking. Let's see. All right, SBET. Is it a crypto or is it a stock? Let's have a quick little look, shall we? I don't know what it is. Is it a crypto or a stock? Screen is frozen for you. It shouldn't be now. It should be okay, as far as I'm aware. Let me just double check. You can't see what I'm doing here. Let me just have a quick little look. Am I rolling? No, I'm rolling again, so that's good. Cool, no problem. Let's go to have a look at whatever that was. SBET, all good now. Thank you, Tony. Chat mum, love your work, mate. SBET. Cool, what is it? SBET. SBET. Is NASDAQ. Okay, cool. Sportsbet, different thing. Oh no, SBET is SharpLink Gaming crypto. SBET is a crypto, but it's also SharpLink Gaming on the NASDAQ. Where? Let me do that again. Is it two different ones? SBET is SharpLink Gaming on the NASDAQ, but also SharpLink Gaming on crypto. Let me take a look at that. How can you have both? Can you tell me, please, which one were you talking about? Were you talking about SBET crypto or SBET? It must be the same company. Let's see. Who was that? Finn. Finn, can you tell me, is that... I'll do the NASDAQ and then I'll look at both. But cool. All right, cool. What are we looking at? This is SBET, SharpLink Gaming on the NASDAQ. I think they also have a crypto version of themselves as well. 2.42 billion market cap. They do, obviously, kind of sports betting, duh. SharpLink Gaming, sorry, not sports betting, is an online performance-based... SharpLink Gaming is an online performance-based marketing company which engages in the provision of online platform facilitating sports betting. Okay, SBET. It connects sports fans, leagues, and sports websites to relevant and timely sports betting content. The company was founded in 2019. Cool, all right. And if you were meaning the cryptocurrency version, sure. Here is SBET on the New York Stock Exchange. We're talking $37 and 38 US cents as of right now. Founded in 2019. This is SharpLink Gaming. must have changed names or something. It must have been something else, and then in 2019 maybe it became something new, because that's 2025. There's 2019 right there. I hope I have the right thing. But very clearly, look at that massive bottom at $2.50 in the last. This is why you wanted me to look at it. Oh my God! In the last couple of months, we've rocketed $2.45 to $120. Shoot, over 10 times, 15 times, 20 times, whatever that is. And on the weekly, wow, that gapped up. So obviously what happened was there was some crazy good news where it gapped up from $7.12 to $36. I'm going to ask Grok something. Give me a quick little look. New query. What recent news was good for the stock price of SBET on NASDAQ? It'll just say, do you mean NASDAQ? Yes, it will. Let's see. Sharplink Gaming saw NASDAQ says it's aggressive. Oh, Ethereum acquisition strategy, and it's emerging as the world's largest corporate holder. Oh, of Ethereum. No. Capital raise? Sharplink, staking rewards. Okay. All right, cool. Anyway, SBET looking very interesting here from a weekly perspective. From this high and this low, you need to get through the 0.618 zag zone area in order to say onwards and upwards. So basically look for some resistance potentially around here. Isn't that interesting how it kind of lines up? And if you can clear and hold that right there at $80, clear and hold $80 and you're looking great. You might be finding some resistance. That was a massive move. You might find some resistance in this kind of area potentially, but yeah, if you can sail through there, then onwards and upwards you go. And I guess sky's the limit for that. I don't have the fundamentals. I don't know what it is. But whatever this company was before, it was as high as that. Doesn't make any sense to me. No. Okay, something weird's going on there. And SBET on this. So it must have, yeah, kind of see how that coincides. It seems like the company's changed its focus and that's gone crypto instead, and that's made a massive gain because they've said, oh, this old dead company has gone crypto, and so that's what it seems to have been. I'm just using my guesses there. So yeah, from that high and that low, if you're talking about, yeah, you got a lot to get through. Okay, and where are we on this perspective from this low and this high? Yeah, no, we've got to get through a bit so far. We rocketed up to 3 cents and we're back down to, yeah, that was a huge P&D, my friends. Big pump and dump right there. Not a lot to say other than interesting. Okay, that's SBET. SBET. Let's see. I've got to get out of here, people. Have a great day. Yes, you too. Everyone's got to go. So do I. Ladies and gentlemen, you have watched Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main, going out live on X normally, except we lost the feed, and on YouTube as well. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the GMS family. Let's do a final synchronized slurp and we shall dance it out. Ready? 3, 2, 1. No, we won't do that. We will dance it out first. Yeah. Dance it out with the synchronized slurp because you have watched.
Oh yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, Stackers. It's podcast time.
Grab it.
Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove.
Let's do the
Synchronize.
3, 2, 1, go.
Now we're on the move.
Won't get no content from me tomorrow. I'll be in transit heading up to Queensland. Stay safe, stay informed, keep stacking whatever you're stacking, and I shall speak to you soon. Bye.